Hello IP5 and welcome to this week's class. So we've finished chapter 1. Anything that we didn't cover through the book, like the exercises, we'll do that when you return to school. So don't worry about the fact that we didn't do the end of chapter exercises. We skip chapter 2. We do chapter 2 later on in the semester. And we go to chapter 3 now, okay? So we're on chapter 3. Chapter 3 starts on page 22. Page 22, okay? Chapter 3, page 22. Okay, and we're going to be learning about family and friends this semester. So, there's a little question here. How many people are there in your family? Can you do a quick count? How many people are there in your family? And who are they? So I'm going to give you 15 seconds to try and think about who are all the people in your family, okay? And how many are there? So maybe use your hands, see how many you can name, okay? So you got 15 seconds starting now. Okay, who was there in your family? So I'm going to take a guess and I'm going to use my family as an example. So in my family, I have my mom and dad, so that's 2. There's me, I'm in my family, don't forget to include yourself. My brother, my sister. And then I have my granny and granddad on my mom's side. And my granny, granddad on my dad's side. And I've got, my mom has 3 brothers, which are my uncles, so they're part of my family. Also, she has 1 sister, so she's my auntie. And on my father's side, he has 7 brothers, so that's another 7 uncles. And he has 8 sisters, so that's another 8 aunties. So in my family in total, there are 16 kids on my dad's, 15 other uncles and aunties on my dad's side, plus 4 more on my mom's side, which is 19, plus my granny and granddad's, which makes 23, plus my mom and dad, which is 25, plus myself, my brother and my sister, which makes 28. So in my family, I can immediately think of 28. That's not including my cousins. Okay, so I will have, because I have so many uncles and aunties, I have lots and lots of cousins. And I can't even think how many they are. So in my family, we have a lot. Okay, a lot of people in my family. And so that's what we're going to be learning about. The different people who are in our family. And the different ways that we stay together as a family and also as friends, okay? We have lots of different kinds of friends. For example, I have friends who I work with. I have friends who I grew up with. I have friends who I know because of other friends, okay? So they're not really my friends, but they're friends of friends. So there's lots of different people that I interact with. So, and I still consider them all friends. So we have different kinds of friends too. I have friends because they are my cousins, okay? They're family friends, okay? They're friends through family. So there's lots of different ways to look at family and look at friends. And that's what we are going to be doing today. Okay, so I'm going to read from the beginning of chapter 3. And I want you to follow, please. Thank you. The family is the basic unit of our society. A family may consist of 2 generations of family members. That is, the parents and children. Or even three generations, which includes the grandparents. So what this is saying here is that the family is the basic unit of society. That means that all of society, everything around us, is made up of different families, okay? Everything that starts with a family. And we have different generations. So you'll see here your first question for this chapter is, what is a generation in a family? And a generation is the different people who are part of the family. The easiest way to look at the generation is to go from the top to the bottom, or from the bottom to the top. So in my house at home, there are the children, so me, my brother and sister, we are one generation, and we have my mom and dad. They are another generation. So there is two generations in my house. In some of my friends' houses, they have the children, plus the mother and father, plus the grandparents, grandfather and grandmother, all living in the same house. So there are 3 generations of family living in that house. Okay, so to make it easier of trying to understand exactly what a generation is, think about it as the different levels of family, from mother and father to children, to children, to children. Okay, so maybe if you have a very big family living in a house, you will have grandparents, then parents, then children, and then grandchildren. So the children's children, they become grandchildren. So that would be 4 generations living in one house. So as you can imagine, every family has lots of different generations. So you can have your children, so you're one generation, your parents are a 2nd generation, the grandparents are a 3rd generation, then you can have great-grandparents, that's 4 generations, and if you have brothers or sisters that also have kids, well then that will be a 5th generation. So generations are the different levels of family that are still alive. Okay, we normally talk about generations of the people who are still alive. Okay, but even still, even if they're no longer alive, they're still part of the generations. Okay, because they're still part of the family levels. Okay, all right. So I hope everyone can understand what it means as from generations. And in this question, your second question, what are 5 generations in a family? So I have answered that for you already. I hope you remember. If not, listen back and hopefully you'll get all 5 generations. Okay, so we'll continue here. Everyone wants to have a happy family. However, this is not something that comes naturally or even easily. Even members of the same family can be very different from one another. Therefore, every family member needs to know his or her roles and behave accordingly in order to create an ideal home environment. So what this is saying is, every family is different. No 2 families are the same. Every family, but we have some things that every family wants. Every family wants to be happy. Every family wants to get along with each other. But every person is different. So for example, if you have brothers or sisters, are you the exact same as them? Are you the exact same as your parents? Okay? So there might be things that you like that they don't like. There might be ways that you act that they don't act. Okay? So everyone is different. But we must remember, when we're in a family, that we have to work with each other, understand that we are all different, and everybody wants to keep a happy family home. So we have to know our place. We have to know when we're able to say something, when we're not supposed to say something. We have to know how to act in front of others and when we shouldn't be acting up in front of others. Okay, so that's all part of having an ideal or happy family. Okay, I hope you understand that. Okay, So, excuse me, characteristics of an ideal family. So we're on page 23 now. Characteristics of an ideal family. What do we mean by an ideal family? How do we identify one? Below are some characteristics of an ideal family. So these are characteristics. These characteristics, you might remember, are different things that stand out, okay? And not every family that has these characteristics is automatically an ideal family. Ideal means perfect, okay? A perfect family. We could still have perfect families without doing all these things. But in general, this is what most people associate or relate to as having a perfect or ideal family, okay? So the first one, an ideal family engages in good communication. This is important. It allows each member to express compassion, kindness, courtesy, and respect to all others in the family. So, good communication. Communication means when we are able to talk to each other and easily, when we can talk to each other easily, when we want to do something that we're not afraid to ask, that we can easily talk to our parents if you want to do something, or if they want to do something, that they can talk to you easily. And it's being able to communicate, to talk with each other and do things together easily and without having any trouble or problems. It is important to listen to what others have to say. Everyone's voice and opinion need to be heard before any family decision is made. This makes each member feel important and valued. It is an essential element in making the whole family happy. So you're still very young, so you don't always get to choose what happens or what to do. But a lot of the times when your family is planning to do something, they will tell you, they will let you know, we are going to do this. Are you happy to do this? Do you want to do this? Your family will ask you, do you want to do something? And this is so that they can communicate with you, so that you understand what is happening, what is going to happen in the future, okay? And it's the same for if you're not happy about something, you should tell them, I don't want to do this, or I don't like that, because you can't just say, I don't want to, or I don't like something. You have to tell them why. And maybe they can understand it, maybe they can change it, or maybe they can't. But what we talk about good communication is because they've told you and now you're aware of what is going to happen, okay? But you should be able to speak back or talk back politely to your parents and say if you're not happy with something. But that doesn't mean that it's going to change. It just means that your family are listening to your opinions. An ideal family enjoys being together. All the members spend a lot of quality time together. They plan and prepare for family activities together. So this is all about being together as a family. You all live in the same home, so you should be able to, you should be happy around each other. You do different things together, and we call that quality time. When you're spending time with your family, having fun, being happy, that's called quality time. We need not spend much money to enjoy quality time with the family. Simple activities such as having family dinners at home or watching television programs together will be good enough. So everything fun does not cost money. We can do things that we can have fun without spending lots of money. So I want you to think for 10 seconds of 3 things that you do with your family that does not cost money. Okay? How do you have fun with your family that does not cost money? So you've got 10 seconds to think about that, starting now. Okay, I hope you were able to think of at least 3 things that you do with your family that does not cost money, okay? Okay, I'm quickly going to read through your questions that you need to answer in your copybooks. Please remember that all of these need to go into your copybook, okay? Questions and answers. So you need to write the question and then the answer. Okay, first question. What does good communication mean in a family? Question number 2. Why is it important to listen to other family members? Question number 3. What does spending quality time together as a family mean? So what does quality time, spending quality time together as a family mean? What can families do together that does not cost money? So I hope you have already answered that question in your head and make it very easy to answer in your copybooks. Okay, so we've got one more page, page 24. I'm going to read from the top, so please follow. The members of an ideal family share common interests. The more the family members have in common, the more they tend to do together. Having similar interests and setting common goals give the family something to look forward to plan toward and to experience together. So for example, if you do things with your family that everybody enjoys doing, for example, going on picnics, going to the beach, going on holidays together, going for bike rides, climbing mountains, going for walks, going for runs, whatever it might be. Well, anything that you do together as a family is called a common interest, okay? It's something that everybody enjoys doing. Excuse me. For instance, a picnic at the beach is a great idea. The planning of the picnic may also be more enjoyable than the picnic itself. So for example, when you're going on a picnic to the beach, you're excited because you're going to have a picnic on the beach. But what do you bring for a picnic? You have to choose the food. You might have to go out shopping, buy the food. You get to choose what food you want. Maybe you have to cook the food beforehand. You need to prepare the food before you go for the picnic. And maybe you all do that together as a family. And that could be more fun than actually eating the food on the beach. Okay? So that is what, again, another example of how families come together, work together, and have good quality time. All family members contribute to the welfare of the family. This means responsibilities and duties need to be shared appropriately among all family members. So all family members have a responsibility at home. Okay? For example, maybe one of your parents makes dinner every day. Maybe one of the parents makes breakfast every day. Maybe your responsibility is to clean up the house, or clean up your room, or wash the dishes after you finished eating dinner. Okay? So everybody should have jobs at home that they do that make the family work together. Okay? Children too should be assigned with tasks that suit their ages. Parents not only contribute towards providing daily necessities for their children, but also others, such as good education, moral values, and loving guidance. Okay, so your parents are responsible for you going to school. They're responsible for how you act, and they're also responsible for loving you. But in return, because they are responsible for you doing that, you have responsibility when you're in school, that you learn, because that is why they are working hard to send you to school. So you need to learn hard when you're in school. You need to be kind around others. Your parents teach you to be kind. So then when you go to school, you should be kind to your friends, your classmates, and to teachers. And all of this creates a loving guidance. We call it loving guidance. It means that when we're happy, you respect other people, and other people will respect you. An ideal family focuses on the strength, not the faults of one another. Every one of them appreciates each other for being there for him or her. Ideal families are not problem-free. However, they admit having problems and seek help to solve them. So, not everybody is perfect, and nobody is expected to be perfect. But it's important that we realize if we have faults, if we have a problem, that we are able to understand that. And if we know we have a problem and other people know we have a problem, people can work together to make it less of a problem. And it means that that as you're working together as a family, you're showing love and respect. And it's important to also know that all families have problems, okay? There's no such thing as the perfect family, but all families have problems. But together, families work together to try and create less problems and a more loving and fun, caring family, okay? So, questions for this page. What activities do you look forward to doing with your family? Name at least 3. Okay, so hopefully you've answered that already. And what responsibilities do you have at home? So what do you need to do at home that you do to help out with your family at home? Okay, nice easy questions, not too much this week. That's all for this week. Thank you for listening and see you again next week. Bye-bye.